we have received a love letter. Being gay serves no purpose. The best part about having a man is loving a woman and having children. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, and no amount of gay love or sex can get around the scientific and natural fact. The greatest love stories and romances ever told are always men and women. What is the greatest love story ever told about the LGBTQ plus community? Romeo and Juliet is one of the greatest love stories ever told and known worldwide. What is one of the greatest gay love stories ever told and known worldwide?
Let me ask the audience.
Hey, you. Are you a lady boy? Oh, bitch. Girl, I said, are you a... Are you a... Oh. Us too.
Hey, sleepyheads.
Hey, night owls.
I'm Adrian.
I'm Shiloh.
And welcome to a very late night. Or
No. Cut. And welcome to the Ladyboy Radio Hour After Hours. You knew we were going to say after hours at the end. We hadn't talked about it, but we had. We just sang it.
So we didn't know because we didn't talk about it and I didn't know.
So, context. Like, you could have used the context of us all singing, Lauren, are you serious?
It's so dark in the monitor.
I think it's...
Sorry, don't mind the cloud and the vociferous coughing just off frame.
I don't like that you're hitting the bong without us. Yeah, get it right in frame, too. Get us demonetized.
Oh, my God.
You look like a dragon.
Wow.
Like a dungeon dragon.
Like a dungeon dragon. I'm starting to feel like a dungeon dragon.
Like a dungeon dragon. She's so stupid.
Seek help, Onika.
Her tweeting about Ethel and Lana, I laughed really hard. She said, I don't even know who Ethel Kane is, but I live. Sorry.
Leave a comment down below if you want us to do a deep dive into the enigma that is that beef.
A ghost is about to pass through the frame, and it's Lauren
Hey,
going to bed.
It's really late night.
It's not that
10:30.
late.
I just have to be up at 5:30.
Pay
She
no
does
attention
indeed.
to the creature behind the curtain.
Come on through, baby girl.
Now I'm a little stoned.
I'll
I'm
lower the
scared.
mic. You gotta. Good job.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Good luck sleeping through the music on the corner.
They stop now. Okay.
So it's late
Context.
as balls. That's the
It's late.
context.
Okay. So, okay. First, we are alone. Mom is not here today. Mick, moment of silence. They're fine. They're just not here today.
Yeah, they're busy.
The reason why being, we were going to record yesterday, which is our usual Friday recording day. But Mick tried not to be busy. And then we were like, oh, we're free. Like, we'll just do like a chill, like just us episode. But then we went and we had fun plans. The fun plans being Lauren got a tattoo.
Yes.
And we went along because it was a friend of ours that was doing the tattoo.
Completely.
And then we, on a whim, ended up going to a sickening Italian dinner.
At a cash-only restaurant in East Harlem.
So delicious.
Cash only though?
So
Like,
good.
are you serious?
We engorged ourselves with that food.
Yeah.
Like I was eating food that I've never eaten before.
No, it was
and
really,
the quantity
really crazy.
of like, I had mama the pasta and the salmon and so delicious.
The garlic bread
Oh my God.
alone
The
was worth the $88
the
for
use of
entire
garlic
meal.
in this dining facility was like chef's kiss, literally.
Also,
That being said,
$88 between all three of
Yeah,
us for a fancy
not bad
ass
at all.
sit-down Italian.
Patsy's.
Patsy's in East Harlem. I'm sure you've heard of it if you live in East Harlem because it's the spot.
Real bitches know.
All right.
That didn't sound like real bitches. It sounded like bitches derogatory. I was like, Patsy seems lovely.
If I'm referring to you.
It's one of those places that like all the lights flicker, but
All of the
they
lights.
take your leftovers to the back to box it for you. You thought that was so funny, didn't you? They take
So
your
did you.
leftovers to the backs. The back.
The bags. They take the leftovers to the
They-
bags. I'm about to backstep your stuff in the bag.
Stop.
Don't you worry.
But listen, we went with Lauren because this is a tattoo artist that we've mentioned on the channel before. Give it up for Finn Gagnon.
Show the newer one.
Oh, I will. I was leading there. The Prestige, Mama, the Prestige, the build-up.
You love saying that word.
It's a great word.
Well, yeah.
I'll club you with the spike.
You'll club me with a spike.
I'm going to kill you. But we went with Lauren because it's our dear friend, Finn Gagnon.
Did we go with Lauren?
We did. We went with Lauren. Because Finn's a great friend and like what a handsome little lad and a talented artist and an incredible tattoo artist. I just thought it'd be funny to say tattooist. It wasn't. And earlier that week, this week, as it were, because it's Saturday, end of the week, I also got a tattoo from him because we both won a giveaway. And now on my little leg, I'm going to like Washington crossing the Delaware, this bitch. Can you see? What do you think?
I'm great.
If you're wondering if it hurt on my shin, I will tell you, it did. It was so bad. I
Your shin.
left kind of woozy. It hurt so bad.
Woozy.
But not that he doesn't have a gentle hand. He actually is incredibly gentle.
A gentle hand.
The gentlest touch.
Gentle touch.
But when we went with Lauren, we got to meet his cat.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a really big improvement. I wasn't in pain and I got to meet the cat.
Completely. That being said, by the time that we were headed home, we said, fuck it.
We're
Let's
not
just do
filming
this
the
tomorrow.
I did not anticipate that I was going to have like a shift where I just constantly got dogged for 6 hours.
The longest day, yeah.
But it was a 6-hour shift, so I'm late. I'm spry. I'm on my feet. I read a book on the way here. My train ride that was supposed to be like 28 minutes was like an hour and a half. Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato or whatever.
Wake it up.
I used to think that lyric was wind speed tomato.
Yeah.
Famously.
Oh my God. Famously says whatever.
I was on the phone with my mom, and I was telling my parents about Patsy's, the Italian restaurant we were just talking about.
The aforementioned place.
And I had already told my mom, but I wanted to tell my dad too, and he had just joined. So I'm telling this story, and my mom goes, yeah, he heard all that, but he did have to step out of the room because he had a coughing fit. And I said, is he okay? Did it just get darker in here?
No, like it's been dark in the monitor
Yeah,
this whole
whatever.
time. He doesn't listen.
I was like, is he okay? And she was like, yeah, he's had this really bad cough for about 13 months.
So that's a year. This is my 35-month-old baby.
My 35-year-old.
That's
what?
the energy. 35-month-old baby.
My
35-year-old baby is, well,
my
I mean,
35-year-old newborn.
my preemie.
My 35-year-old stillborn.
Oh, that's no. In the sense that you know what I mean.
My 35-year-old
This is my
preemie, and
aborted
it's just like,
abortion.
that's how I have a friend whose mom. Sorry, this is a rambly episode because who cares? We should just yap through this one because I'm having a good time.
As opposed to what is happening right now.
No, I'm saying we should just keep doing this instead of the stuff we planned.
What was the story?
My friend's mom, I will not say who this was because I've talked about
Say it.
her trauma enough on the pod.
Say her name.
It's she's had enough happen in her life where she doesn't
Yes,
also
yeah.
need me to like dox her personal business.
Docs.
But her mom one time in the middle of college called her and was like, I just want to tell you that I almost got you aborted. Penis! It was like, great. Oh, sorry. You're going to have to bleep that. And she was like, great. Thanks for telling me that. Great. So is that what you wanted to tell me? Also, one time when I was at her house for a sleepover, her mom was like, yeah, after goes to college, I want to adopt a...
You just said it again.
Whatever, we're going to
Her
bleep
name.
it. Sorry.
Okay, stop saying it.
When Redacted goes to college, I'm going to adopt like a toddler, like a little girl, so I'll finally have my little princess.
I remember this story. Yeah.
Literally?
Mm.
Redacted's mother, you know who you are. Honestly, it's a kill yourself situation. Like, I'm sorry, that woman is
Death.
there's
to
hope for
of
all
them.
of us, but not for her. Some of us
Yeah.
are not in the place. I am kidding, but like,
We support women's rights and wrongs, except for that one right there.
no, like, except for her because she's crazy.
She's going to prison. Prison, Hanny.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about, yeah.
Sorry, who?
Are you hearing this right now? Shh.
Let me listen to my block.
Oh my God. It's been like a terrible week, honestly.
That's not true.
Well, it was for me for like 3 days and then it became fine.
Yeah.
But it was a really, I crashed out. Full confession. There was a crash out in the making. Adrian was here when my mom had shipped me a box of like my dead grandmother's things. And like,
yes, that did happen. You did come home to that after a long shift at work.
and then I opened the washer and my duvet. I almost said duvet.
My duvet.
My duvet was sitting in 2 inches of standing water, brown water, mind you, in the fucking, what do you call that? The wash.
It was a wash.
It was the wash. And now we have to drain our wash after every use into a sheet pan that we set on the floor.
Please protect our privacy at this time.
But I tried to save the duvet.
Hopefully by next episode we'll be talking about how the issue is finally solved and they like went ahead and they a text from Mick. Oh my god.
What did Mick say?
Mick said a while ago before we started recording, obviously, how is recording going, divas? And then right now that they just said that they have more vapes for us. Please.
They really
Marijuana
are.
vapes, obviously. Not for us, but for the children.
What did he say?
Not the children, but
The children? You're going to get this person a supervisor at Redacted. That's a callback.
Right.
Are you familiar with Jesus? This is what happens when you try to film on a Saturday night.
Mama. Saturday night.
I love our block. There's a guy like holding his baby downstairs. Like when I was walking up, there's a man like standing next to the speaker with his young baby, like burping the fucking baby on the block right next to that baby's gonna be deaf. I'm sorry. You better start teaching it ASL now.
Not it. Teaching it.
Them? Like, it's fine. That's a Gen Alpha kid, so it might use its pronouns. We do not
Maybe.
know.
Who's to say?
And I support them.
Leave a comment below with your thoughts.
Did you guys get that those were hate comments? Did we mention earlier that the cold open was hate comments?
Well, that was a love letter that we received in the comment section of one of our recent episodes. Initially, the comment was, no, hell no, blah, blah, blah. And so
To which
we
you
responded,
replied.
do you like that, Danny? And then they, typed out their 3 comment long sort of soliloquy-like dissertation about how due to the inequitable representation of queer love in the media, we are not valid.
Right.
What was
However,
like essentially the main point of it is Romeo and Juliet is about straight people, so like fuck gays.
right. And I'm also like, so that's a base
And who set that
take.
system up?
that is a based and chopped take because, like, if you
Based and chopped?
based is bad, right?
No.
I was trying something. I feel like what's his
You
name?
will have like the slightest bit of a clue of what something means, and then you'll just be like, "Yeah, let me say it."
Well, I feel like that's
I love that.
freedom of
There's just, like,
expression.
such a freedom with which you use language.
First of all, fuck off. But sometimes I'll use like a word that the children use, and I'll feel like that clip of Steve Buscemi, I think is who it is, where he's holding the skateboard over his shoulder. Hello, fellow kids. Like, exactly.
Like what?
Like what?
Yeah, like what words?
Start sweating. Looks at my notes. I can't think of any. Based, it was, or if I say something's gas, I feel like a child. Which it's been happening recently, because I work with children.
Truly children.
And I need to not. They're like 20 at the youngest. Yeah. Yeah.
Disgusting. I'm so sorry. If you are listening to this and you are 20 years old or younger.
My boss is 25. My boss is not terrible. Well, it's
Part of
all
the pod.
kind of across the board, kind of tough right now. I'm like, do I talk about it or like?
Well, okay. What if you just tell like the abridged story in regards to your Instagram story?
Well, also, I
This is a good
confessed
one.
this to Lauren already. Because,
Are you about to confess something to me live on the pod?
yes, I am.
Oh my God.
This is about a fib I told. And I don't know why, but I panicked. And I was like, well, first I have to tell the story. So should we take a break? We're 15 minutes in.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, Shadow's got some explaining to do.
Also, I just want to say this is probably going to be a short episode. I'm already so over this. Get out of my face. No, I'm kidding. But it might be short. I'm tired.
Okay. All of our listeners are so offended.
We can edit that out.
I think I will.
We need to speak to a gay person.
Are you gay?
We need to tell you about For the Girls, the organization we're highlighting this week.
For the Girls is an organization started back in 2019 by founder and head doll in charge, Asani Armin, a party curator and up-and-coming rapper.
The first party took place as a fundraiser Asani organized to help two of their friends who were facing eviction. With the help of the community, the party was a success.
For the Girls has been hosting monthly parties ever since, raising funds to help Black trans people pay rent and afford gender-affirming care.
Asani sees the club scene as a safe haven for Black trans folk, and therefore sees it as the perfect tool to sustain Black trans livelihood.
And they know it can be done while treating the party, literally.
Head to their link in our description so you can donate or apply for help, divas.
Yeah.
Hey, we're
Hi.
back. What's the tea, Mary?
The tea is the music is getting louder by the minute. Let's give them a tour, shall we?
What's the tea?
The tea is, so one of my managers, the lead barista at this establishment, and like, it's cool. We've discussed it. It's fine. They did use the R word in front of me, and I really hate that word. Even as someone who's had it used against them a lot.
Y'all should too.
I have personally felt no need to reclaim. No need, nor have I thought,
One could say it's not reclaimable.
Just saying.
I also feel similarly. However, when it comes to like the sliding scale of oppression, the person who said it is like lives a different experience than I do. I'm a whitey, just in case you hadn't noticed. I am of the Caucasian. The painting just fell off the wall. It was so shocked to find out that I'm white. No,
Go
I'm
on.
extremely white. Milk white. Printer paper white. Oh, this is a painting by Mick, by the way. It's real cute. Put that fucking hand down. Not down there, though. Idiot. Just kidding. What was that?
Ew.
But so they said the R word in front of me. And as I was telling this story, I told you that I said something.
What did you say?
Nothing.
What?
I was too anxious in the moment. When I was telling this story to Adrian, I was a little too stoned and a little too anxious. And when you were like, and what did you say? I was like,
You didn't say anything at all to them
I
when it
didn't say
happened?
anything about it when it happened.
Shiloh, you literally told me that you like let them have it.
Yeah, lie. I don't know why that was my instinct to lie. I don't know why. I literally was like, why did I lie
So
about
then why were you talking about apologizing to them if you didn't say anything?
that? Well, because then I vague posted about them on my Instagram story.
Well, yeah, but you made it sound like you were apologizing to them. We're having a real conversation right now in front of you guys, by the way.
Yeah.
You made it sound like you were apologizing because you were I kind of was really reactive in the moment. I didn't
Yeah,
this
because
was
that-
all just because of what you said on your Insta story.
Yeah.
Which was not even that bad because did you even specify I think you just were hey guys, don't say the R word.
And then I said, you sound, and then in quotations, I was like, in New York, we grow up saying it because that's what people say when I'm like, why would you use that word? They didn't say that, but people, that's what people say. And then I said, you sound stupid. You sound like a fucking Republican.
Oh, that's
Not nice.
no. In the sense that
And then there was a third other shady Instagram post, but also whatever.
you know what I mean.
I'm grown.
Did you post this on your main
Yes,
story
of
knowing that
course.
they followed you?
Yeah, well, yeah. But I was like, they probably won't see it. Yes, they will. This is a Gen Z, 23-year-old. I am also Gen Z, I would like to clarify. Some people like to claim I am a millennial just because I'm 26. And you are also 26, so. People have been like, oh, millennial. And I'm like, I'm going to kill you.
What moving on real quick from the story. That, okay.
So I vague posted about them on Instagram. And then when I came in the next day.
And then they swiped up on that story. Is that true?
No, they didn't swipe up on that story. I never said that.
And so then how, you just saw that they saw it?
No, when they came into the shift the next day.
They said something to you.
My coworker goes, hey, my coworker redacted, hey, was like, by the way, redacted, I really had to stop myself, wants to see you downstairs. And I said, oh, okay. And I went down there and I was like, this is great because I actually wanted to talk to you. And they were like, okay, go ahead. And I was like, weird vibe. And I was like, please don't use the R word in front of me. And they were like, see, that I can deal with. But the vague posting on Instagram. And I was like, no, that was not cool. I am having a crash out. And also, why am I crying right now? And that was when I was like, I think I'm spiraling out.
Okay.
And this is the end of my shift also. So I was like, I'm sorry. And this was the day that I did not sleep. Also. Not at all. I slept maybe an hour. And so I was having one of my typical, I'm just really tired and I need to go home moments. But I was like, I'm crying and it looks like I'm crying about this, but I'm not. I'm just really tired. Let me go home. And they were like, no, and I will police my language around you. I fully was what people in school would call an R word, completely because I was in special ed and I can't remember what the ADA
What?
thing you get at school. You get the special form. It's the IP or something. I can't remember. It's the plan, the something plan.
Oh,
You know
okay,
what
yeah.
I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well they don't, but you do. So that's all that matters. The audience is
It's an IEP, I think.
IEP, I believe. I don't know what that stands for. Don't ask. Maybe you do.
Not right now.
Okay, we'll Google it later.
I'm still trying to process the tangled web that you for me the other night.
Yeah.
Because what you guys don't realize, and if you're wondering why I'm looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? Is because Shiloh and I had like over an hour long discussion about us talking about what went down and like how he like responded to it, and him feeling bad about how he responded to it. Mind you, that part did not happen. And then
Right. And so when I say
like,
I feel bad about it,
like,
I mean how I responded vis-a-vis vague posting.
right, which is still just like like a completely different. Wow. Okay. Work. Cool. Okay. So moving on from that.
Well, also I did kind of post it. There were in my mind I was like, whatever if they see it.
I just see that I don't follow because like why like you just if you just started at that job, so they've been following you for maybe what, like 3 days, and you like posted about them on your public story. When I saw you post that, I did not even for a second assume that they were following you.
Yeah, no, like this was a story of Shiloh being a little insane. Let's give it up. I am not.
This whole entire time, I've been like, Shiloh, you don't need to be sorry, like this, and this, because he painted a completely different picture of what had happened.
Yeah, like not. I literally.
Yeah, like
was
I'm sorry
why
that
did
like
I
that
lie?
was said in front of you. Wow, you did your huge one. Like what the fuck?
No, that's why I was like, I hope everything's cool with me.
The
and Salem
audacity of you
because
walking into that like meeting and going, yeah, no, like I actually really wanted to talk to you. Of course they were like, okay, sure. What the fuck do you need to say? Like now you want to talk?
No,
you
I literally.
You're crazy, but you're free.
I'm not though. I'm not free. I'm not free. I'm haunted. I'm haunted.
Free of charge.
Because
you don't get paid.
mind you, I posted that story when I had not slept. There's a 2-day stretch of me like not sleeping. I slept like 7 hours in 2 days, and I just was like, that's probably rounding up a little bit, which is. But so I just was like insane. So as I was telling you that story, I was also sleep deprived, and I was like not in the best place to be making decisions. And those phones should have gone away, basically. The phone should have never been in the room. And I should have probably, I'm trying to, but also I was like, I'm such a coward and a piece of shit for not saying anything in the moment.
Well, okay.
What I was a piece of shit for was posting on my Instagram story.
You're not a coward for not saying anything in the moment. You are a messy fucking stupid faggot for posting about it on your story, knowing that they followed you.
Right.
But your feelings were valid, and I think that like.
Well,
like
also,
yeah, like you like blundered in that way, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that like. Although you responded in a way that was informed by your general state at that time, like the actual thing that happened was like still not okay.
Right.
And I'm glad that like one way or another you got to set that boundary and like come to an understanding with that person. I just like I would have handled it differently. / I would have just told me in the moment, because if you had told me, I didn't actually say anything, but I just like put some shit on my story, that would have been like, all right, cool. And then I might have asked if they were following you.
Yeah.
Because like, I think that you should have posted. I just maybe would have been like, oh, maybe hide them from that like story, or like delete and like repost on close friends or something, because it was like a worthwhile thing to post on your story, just like not for them to see.
Right.
Because also the whole reason why you didn't say anything in the moment is because you felt awkward. Like that's not a fun thing to like speak out on.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure what you didn't want to do is have them be like, can you come see me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cause I was like, I'm so fucked right now. Because I was slightly more rested the second day than I was that first shift.
And then is that what your main boss like wanted to talk about with you today?
Yes, but that actually went well and was exactly how I told you that it went.
Okay.
Wait, have we talked any more about? Like, I'm not lying to you when I say this. Did I tell you the like tale of what happened today? I told Lauren. Should I
No, I
wake
don't
her
think
up and
so.
ask her to tell it so you know I'm not lying? No, but my boss was like, come in today, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be in trouble for talking shit on my Instagram story like a moron. But like I went in.
I cannot believe I've been like defending and supporting you the past 3 days based on a complete and total like piece of fiction.
No, like, well, because I needed your support, I think, more than I needed it to be reality. Which is like insane.
I just like don't know that I consent to be part of your delusion.
Is that a read?
Sorry. Like hot take. Like
That's fair. Boundary received. But my boss like brings me down into the black mold filled basement, because that is not a joke.
the blackest mold.
The blackest mold. Well, you're gonna love parts of this story because it's gonna circle back on some stuff.
Let me go get my water.
You can still hear me from there, just not in the headphones. So
Yes, unfortunately.
basically, I'll take an ear out in solidarity. Basically, what we're gonna do is dance. Put your sneakers on. No. Let me try to hold the mic out so they can hear. Yup, wake it up. Because, guys, it's 11:01. It's 11:01 at night. Yeah. I'm going to step out of frame while I tell this tale. So I go down to the black mold filled basement. She's sitting on a box of paper towels. She's sitting on a box of paper towels. I'm like, oh, hey, girl, what's up? And she's like, hey. And I'm like, I've been anxious about this all day because I'm like, oh, my God, I'm such an idiot for posting about this on my Instagram story. Because now a very cut and dry situation, which is don't say the R word at work, has become now Shiloh's like taking it out to the public. But also the added context of those posts was as I was stepping onto the train, a guy shoulder checks me getting off. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And he goes, watch where you're going. Calls me the R word. And I literally was like, I can't take this anymore. And that was truly like what broke me.
Did you say that?
Absolutely. I told and they were like, thank you for that much added context.
Stop saying names.
Sorry, redacted. But yeah, they were cool about it. Much cooler than they should have been, honestly. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I'm very lucky that I'm at least borderline likable because Jesus Christ, sometimes like I do something so fucking stupid.
There's something borderline for sure.
You know that's not true. It was a misdiagnosis.
Misdiagnosis. Welcome to the stage.
More like Mr. Diagnosis.
Missed his diagnosis.
Not good. But I'm like, I'm sure this is about redacted, right? And my boss goes, yeah, it's about like that. And I just wanted to get your take. And I was like, okay, here's what happened. They said the R word in front of me. Not to me or about me, but because their friend was there as we were closing, I didn't feel like being like, hey, the music is so loud.
Did you fall back, like you said?
Fall back.
You said that the floor was wet and you like
I did. That did
recoiled
happen.
and then you like fell back.
I didn't like fall on the ground.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I did like literally. And
then they were like, are you okay? And then you were like, yeah.
Yeah, because I like caught myself on the counter.
Oh,
that
okay.
was real.
Okay.
It started as me like jokingly overreacting, and then I did like slip. So, but anyway, back to the basement. I'm telling this tale. And I'm like, yeah, no, here's exactly what happened. And I told exactly what I told you, where I was like, they said the R word, and I was having a really bad day. I was sleepless, as I was for 3 days in a fucking row. And they said the R word in front of me, and I did not have the added context of their life and the way that slur is used around these parts, where people just use it all the time in a way that was kind of squashed in all the communities like I was in growing up. to be fair, I was running in some pretty woke circles. I was going to like an art school for children, not a private school. I need to specify we didn't have money like that.
See, that's the part of it that like I don't necessarily like. Okay, yes, it is completely valid and fair to talk about like the differences in like collective awareness on like certain things and like which conversations we're more likely to have at what times in what parts of the country, like where you're growing up, for sure. But I think regardless of that and regardless of your own closeness or proximity to the slur or what the slur like represents, like I just think that it's never too late to learn that what you've been doing for so long is not okay.
Right.
And when you're talking about like slurs and stuff like that, like you could say, oh, well, like I grew up in the South and I like grew up around like a lot of people saying other slurs. And so is the fact that that is more normal and something that like you grew up like with that being more like normalized, does that then say, okay, so you are stripped of the responsibility of like not even just the awareness of it? Like it's that thing about like how like it doesn't always count if you say that you weren't aware of the law. You still broke it. You're still liable for the consequences of it. Does it kind of change it? Sure. Like I've had like similar discussions with like other people that are like locals, and like yeah, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, like that was very normal to me like up until like very, very recently, but like I'm having this conversation and I'm realizing and I'm understanding that like we're talking about a slur here, and even though like I might not have like been through that shit, like you have, and like it makes you uncomfortable. And we're also not talking about just like a regular social setting, we're talking about we're at a place of work. And so that's where I feel like, although yeah, like that's a worthwhile like conversation to have and it gives a lot of like context and stuff, like I don't think that takes away from the fact that like we should not be saying that at work. Sorry.
Also, I think there's something to be said of like someone passing for like autistic people call non-autistic people like allistic. But there's the like a level of passing that people like me and the lead barista do.
Yeah.
That like I don't really think we can blanket all slurs. Like I don't think all slurs can get the N-word treatment.
No, because it's not.
I mean, like I'm white, and the person who said it to me,
right,
like in conversation.
No, but we've talked
black.
about this. Like it's the idea of like just speak like. It's not about like, oh, does this slur apply to me? Then that means that I'm able to reclaim it, because it doesn't really work that way. I'm non-binary. I'm not trans identifying, but I have been called the T slur so many times in my life, and I've been subject to like very specific like trans misogynistic like vibes and situations. That doesn't like, that's not my identity. So like I'm not reclaiming and like wanting to say that like slur, but I mean by the logic of like, oh, like I've been called it and I could continue to be called it, like I can say it, like that doesn't really apply there. Mind you, with queer slurs there's like a larger like conversation to be had about like the community and like blah 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 blah, but like still like that definitely does not apply to the R word, because it's also not something that like I feel can be reclaimed in that way, because it is such a literal like adjective that is like derogatory in the implication. And there also is no like removal from like what it means, because when they're like saying it, like they're talking about something being stupid. That is like that is what like ableist people say about like neurodivergent folks. So
I think that's
like
exactly where the like big difference is, because when I mean like we say faggot to each other derogatorily as a joke.
Yeah, but like a faggot means a bundle of sticks that you throw into the fire and they used to burn us. So like that's the gag, and we've been called it like a lot, and it makes me feel better because now every time that I walk around and someone calls me a faggot, I laugh because I think it's funny. And like
Exactly.
plus like
Same
we're like
with,
being
like-
like, oh like to have that word be like a term of like endearment, like for us that we use like for each other is fun and it's silly, and we're not like, it's so far removed from what it actually means. Like same thing with cunt, like where it's become just like something
it's so
completely
pussy, so
different.
cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it's, I mean, like, again, I'm no scholar, but the like use of the N-word is so far removed from derogatory implications when it's used among like each other,
When
like
it's
they're
being like
referring
reclaimed, yeah,
to
like
each other casually.
well, plus and like that is like the reclamation of
but I'm not gonna be like, "What's up, R-word?"
for sure.
No,
The reclamation of like every slur, like I think is like a community like conversation like type of a thing. But at the end of the day, like you are like valid in the way that you choose to reclaim the slurs that like are used against you. However, I just think that the R word is not is not that way. It's not built that way. That because it's also like it just that is like what it means. Like you're not saying it to mean something else. Like you are like. And like
yeah, and it's not like you're using it in a context where it doesn't mean something derogatory. Like you do mean you find a synonym.
It's also like stuff like
there
this
are
is
so
like
many funny words for idiot. Nincompoop. Try that one.
Mom,
Personal fave.
Please. And like there's also just
Schmuck.
the context of the rest of like the ableism that like is so like pervasive like in the general like lexicon is also part of it, because we are still not in a place where like we have like broken down like a lot of stigmas around like autism and or like even been like educated like enough about like how many people are actually autistic and like what that actually like looks like, because everyone has a very like specific view of like someone who is autistic being like the most like high like support needs like all across the board, and like that's not always the case. And like sometimes like the biggest sign of being autistic is how well you're hiding it, because that's the whole gig, is the masking of it all. So and like when you are like socialized not realizing that is what like you're doing, then like how do you even like telegraph to somebody that like, hey, I'm actually putting on almost every single facet of what I'm like presenting to you right now, because I have no idea what's going on.
Trust.
Like
you're looking at it, and people would be like, why do you have public meltdowns where you just start crying and you can't stop? You're like bashing your head into something. Yeah, you would too, girl.
Like, yeah, you would too.
Yeah, you would too.
And so like,
every day, why is he crying? Why is he like, why is his vision tunneling in class because he can't breathe?
And like I think we're also in a time where like it's starting to become like cute and trendy to like sort of like glamorize like certain like facets of like neurodivergent life, like, and like being all like, oh, like I'm like blanking, but like you know what I'm talking about. Like there's like a lot of people being
people
like,
are like,
oh, like I'm like really overstimulated, or like I'm really this, and it's like you're
my
just
OCD,
you're just
like
my OCD this, like blah 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 blah. And like it's just
I'm so
and, like,
OCD
I think
about
it's because
this.
like I think that is fucked up, but like I think it's okay and valid to joke about your like mental illness as like a way to cope, because like there's nothing more like mentally ill than like needing to crack like a little joke about it. But like I just think that we need to be very, very present in what it is that we're talking about. And I think that the general rule of like talk about like what is your tea in regards to you and how like you live in that tea. Like I can joke about like my shit in my mind palace, like you joke about like yours, but like they're like, aside from the fact that like we know each other and we have like a certain comfort and we can like joke about like certain things, like you don't walk around like you just don't like say shit like about like someone else's like mental health situation, and like Like you just like don't know, like you like don't like want to like minimize or reduce what someone else is like going through by being like, oh, like I'm having like a bad day, like I'm being blah, blah, blah. Like that's just not, it's not the tea. And there's so much of that like I think it calls for like an even like higher vigilance on like not saying the R word.
Well, also I feel like there is, follow me on this. Medicine in this country is fucked. Healthcare is fucked.
Completely fucked.
Life is really, really miserable, and I do think a lot of us are seriously mentally ill in ways that they cannot help and cannot treat. I like am subscribed to this YouTuber who I was telling you about, made a community post the other day that's like, hey, like I have for several years suffered from some level of like schizoaffective situations, like, and I struggle to figure out what's real and what's not, and it's getting worse these days. LOL. And I was like, hello? And he was like, I guess I just am gonna ride this train till the wheels fall off because I don't have health care. What? That sucks. So many of us do live in those situations, like where we can't afford health care. However, a lot of us are also just really sad and having a bad time.
Yeah.
And want the same level of like care and attention paid to them as
and
like
the
people who are diagnosed. And so like
the validation
self-diagnosed
of
divas enter the chat, and that's fine. I think that's genuinely
completely
fine. However,
there's
with
a
the
line.
self-diagnosers comes some people who are self-diagnosis and maybe like co-opting a little bit. And I don't think that's necessarily a moral failing on their part. I think it's probably not intentional. I think these people do think they like need the same level of treatment, and a lot of them do. It's really hard for us to make that distinction.
Yeah.
So it like has to be treated very delicately, because also how are these people going to get a diagnosis? I called to try to get like an updated screening. And they were like, yeah, so it's going to be $13,000 with your insurance. I said, yeah, I'll see you in hell.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know. I was just curious.
I do feel like more often than not, it manifests itself in like someone doing it in a way that like very much feels like it's like for attention, or as a way to like not take accountability for shit that they do. Which like can also be
that
kind of
be
a
really
larger
messy
conversation, because sometimes that can apply to someone that is actually struggling or facing certain like realities, because there is a difference, and we talk about this all the time.
Yes,
because like
it's a delicate line.
live in like a household of like 3 people that like struggle with like some level of from day to day like executive like dysfunction, and so like there's real challenges and difficulties that like come along with that, especially in the broader context of your mental health and like what is happening in your mind palace.
Yeah.
Like the other things that you're like thinking about, because if you're like also starved for like dopamine, it's extremely difficult to motivate yourself to do a chore.
Right.
So again, like that is like a very real thing. However, there's also the sort of like mental moment of like you have to make a choice to do better for yourself or to do for yourself at all in the slightest. And like there's the moment of being like, I'm gonna actually like try to make my shit good, and then you have to face like all the obstacles, but like there is a difference in facing it and
trying and not being able to versus
trying and not being able to,
trying
and struggling versus not trying and then saying, oh, well, it's because of this, and so like you can't hold me responsible because of the obstacles that like face me. Which is like, for sure, I can't blame you for the fact that your wheel got like fucking punctured on your car, your wheel tire, but I can blame you for the fact that you refuse to like take the spare out the back and change it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
and it's not always like super black and white.
No.
I have had trouble navigating that sometimes, where I'm like,
yeah,
am I doing enough? Like,
yeah.
But with that, trying to examine that within yourself, am I using my like disability, impairment, whatever, as an excuse to not do better, then that comes with a lot of guilt about things you can't change.
Yeah.
It's a really hard line to walk.
It's an active conversation that like requires you to be really like present in reality and also
honest.
like really honest with yourself in the sense that like whatever you think about like yourself like subconsciously like very deeply like is so apparent and so present in all of these things. And so like it speaks to like a relationship like with yourself. And so like all that to say like yeah, like there is a line and there is a difference. And so I think that like it's frustrating for people who are either diagnosed or like very tangibly like live in the very real realities of being neurodivergent, of being whatever sort of like group or like identity that like you belong to that like makes you different and or like disenfranchised. Like there's some realities of that like are just different whether or not like you do belong. Like I mean it's like a similar thing of like talking about like race and like ethnicity and like your phenotype and like how there's a difference between your like identity and your heritage being valid versus the way that people treat you and like how much of that factors into your day to day.
Completely
because
boots.
like I am someone that like I am perceived differently ethnically based on whatever the person is feeling that day. I've had like white people like immediately clock me as not being white, or the other way around. I've had like fellow brown people like clock me as being brown or think that I'm white. Like there's been a lot of that. And so I like see the privilege that like I have in the way that I can like exist in those circles and I'm not always immediately handed like right off the bat racism. That of course leads to like other like uncomfortable things, but like that is something that is present for me in the way that I exist in the space. And when I walk around like in the neighborhood and I see people that like phenotypically look more like Afro-Latino or more like indigenous like Latino than I do, and how that is like a different vibe and that's a different thing, it doesn't take away from the shit that I go through, but like it is different. And like I think for a lot of people they just don't feel comfortable identifying where they do not struggle as much as the next person because they can't conceptualize the fact that that doesn't cancel out the stuff that is hard. Like yeah, like you probably like most of you guys definitely have some sort of ADHD situation.
Yep.
Absolutely. And you're struggling with some of that stuff. However, there's a lot of comorbidity with like being autistic too. That doesn't mean that like just because you're like, oh, sometimes yeah, like that like checks out for me. Okay, cool. I can walk around and I can like claim all of this stuff, and then I can say I'm gonna literally choose to like be insane out in public, but I'm gonna say that I'm having like a meltdown. No, you're not, diva. No, you're not, and that's okay. You don't have to like you don't have to go through the worst for your like kind of shitty to be valid.
Yeah, no, like your ADHD it like is valid and sucks and is bad.
Yeah.
I swear to God. But like
you can get shot and not die, and that still sucks even though like they didn't like decapitate you.
Right. Like just because
like,
somebody else shot and died, just because and you got shot and lived does not mean that like like you're valid. However, please be aware of like where you are in the conversation.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with somebody who's like, yeah, my 33-year-old friend with ADHD totaled their car and is starting a GoFundMe to get a new one because they like can't work a full-time job because they're disabled. And I said, stop. What's the like they can drive though, so like what's T like they can drive to work, like what's the disability situation? Not to be like
no, but
welfare
like, what
queen.
is
I just wanted to know like what the vibe was.
Not welfare queen. That's
so
crazy.
I can help make suggestions.
Yeah.
But my friend got really quiet, and I was like, and she goes, I mentioned they had ADHD, right? And I said, oh, okay, all right.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
Nobody wants
Nobody
to work
wants to get up and work.
I get it. I don't want to work either, and it sucks.
It's very hard.
It's really hard to work, and also to work for almost nothing. Everything is so expensive these days,
and
to
a
get
lot
up
of
and
jobs
work,
are not ADHD friendly.
No,
for sure.
I get it. How many things do I break at work? This is a comorbidity issue also, but like, how many times do I break things at work and like forget what I'm doing and pee pee and poo poo?
But like,
it
sometimes
sucks.
we have to, like.
But this is a bootstraps issue.
Yeah, because I think there are some things that are like, okay, if you have trouble breathing, you need to figure out how to breathe better. We can't just be like, I guess I'm not gonna have oxygen. You know what I mean?
Calling
like
me out.
Some things. Well, no. Well,
I need to get.
But like generally speaking, like there are some things that like life deals us some cards, and sometimes it's like I just have to accept myself or my body for like how I am. Like this is just the reality of it. But then sometimes it's like, okay, I gotta figure out a way to either like with something that like I can do or from support from like someone else. I have to fill in these gaps that like the deck that I have does not fill in for me. So like we need to figure out some sort of way, you know, if we need to get on some medications, if we can find like a certain job, if we can, like, we just need to figure something out, because like you need to not just work, but like you need to be able to do a task. Like as a human, like you need to be able to do a task, and that is not as easy for some people as it might be for some other people, but that doesn't mean that like your necessity for that ability is like not still there, and you just have to figure out, like, you know, it'll look different for you. Big but stretch. Like,
sorry, pigeons here,
you have to do something. It's like people that like are like amputees, like figure out like different ways of like, oh,
hi,
so cutie. Oh, like all those people that like end up like being able to like do like all their shit like with their like feet. Like that's cool, but like
that is.
They had to figure it out.
And
they had to figure it out.
Listen, like there is something, if you're a mentally ill and disabled person, someone with an impairment, like a learning disability, a developmental disability. Well, I don't know about that last one because I'm not going to tell y'all what to do.
Yes.
But like, if you are in a similar position to me where you are someone who has had really extreme mental health issues, who is on the spectrum, who like pee-pee, poo-poo, you get it. There is probably something you can do to make your life better that you can handle.
Yes.
For me, I was able to take tea and I got better.
Yeah.
And then because I was able to take tea, I was able to like go to the doctor more. I was able to like get in, like I have a psychiatrist. I can stay consistently on my meds. Because I can stay consistently on my meds, I'm able to like seek other medication. You
start to chip away.
Yes.
The massive thing that you like start off being like, where do I even start? Like there are ways to do it. But I would honestly say like the best advice is community. Right. Because like
community.
The biggest sort of like breakthroughs that I think like all three of us have made in like our like mental health like journeys has come from just like talking about it. Completely. Either like with a therapist, but also like with just like friends and being like, oh, like this is like what I do with this, or like blah, 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 blah. Like there's a lot of like different tools that like everyone like comes up with, and like we're all very different, but sometimes very, very similar. And
completely, girl.
Like I think sometimes feeling alone and stuff can add to the shame of like, oh, like why can't I just blah, 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 blah. But like I think in sharing, like I know like we've had moments where in talking through some stuff and realizing that like
try to pick her up.
We like have something in common, it like makes it just feel like less shitty.
Well,
and more like, oh, okay, like I'm not alone in feeling scared about this, and so we can have this conversation.
That conversation we had recently that was completely a Spider-Man meme, where I was like, I just can't tell when the joke is too far, so I'm relying very heavily on you to give me a cue on when that is. And you were like, yeah, here's the tea. I'm starting to realize I don't really think I know where that is either.
No, completely.
And we had like a social, like nobody knows, neither of us know. And I was like, oh my God, so we have been the blind leading the blind. Like,
yeah,
so we just gotta work it out.
There's just like we all have our stuff, and sometimes like you'd be shocked to find out. Oh, she's so silly. You'd be shocked to find out like how similar you are to like other people. Wow, this has become like our mental health podcast.
Yeah. Well, this was a great conversation.
Completely.
We should do more 11 p.m. episodes.
We'll have snuck in like a little ad break in between here or something.
Yeah, hopefully you can find a spot.
But thank you guys so much for listening.
Pigeon, what do you want to say?
I think we're gonna call it, but
Pigeon, can you say something?
Hold on. Let's take
Oh no, she just went pets.
the
We have
quickest
to do
break.
song of the week.
Let's take the quickest break, and we'll do a song of the week, and then we'll do we'll speed run a very silly activity. We'll be right back. Hi, gang. It is no secret to the listeners of this here podcast that Zoran Mamdani has won the Democratic primary for the NYC electoral race.
It is also NAR's secret that in the key moments of the last week leading up to the primary, the Ladyboy Radio Hour officially endorsed him.
We take our responsibilities seriously as trendsetters and spiritual leaders, so we plan on doing our biggest one for this campaign.
It is imperative that NYC be a sanctuary city in light of the continued attacks against the queer community, as well as other forms of organized hate plaguing marginalized folk. Zoran has promised to make that a reality.
We will continue to discuss and support the campaign as it draws closer and closer, and we encourage you to join us.
The donation link to the campaign is and will continue to be on our link tree, so do your big one and donate. If money is tight, you can donate your time or labor instead.
My name is Adrian.
My name is Shiloh, and we approve this message, Mary. The quickest break.
The quickest break.
The quickest
Okay,
break.
so I thought just to kind of end on a little bit of a sillier note, we're going to do a bit of a different take on the local dolls. The local dolls.
Please.
Like we have alluded to all the other times that we've done the local dolls, I do have dolls of my own. These are very different, I would say, from the ones that we usually see on the local dolls. But I thought that we should keep one thing the same, which is that Shiloh's going to tell us all about it.
Jesus.
So, please.
This is...
I'll do a close-up.
Is this Christy? Is that right?
Sure. Yes.
This is...
What was that?
My brother texted me.
Crazy.
So it's Christy.
Yes.
And she's got this really sleek bust down going on. That's a bust down if I've ever seen one. In the words of Laura Johnson. She's gorgeous. She's wearing, is this a one piece or is it two pieces?
It's two.
And then
It's
with
pants.
like a belt. I don't know what year. This is a vintage. These are like vintage clothes. I know that you bought these from eBay or some shit.
If you had to guess the year.
79.
No.
98.
Earlier. Like way.
89.
Way earlier.
60? 5.
Later than that.
69?
Close.
70.
Closer.
71?
Yes.
Yeah! First try. I got it on my first guess.
Both the original doll and the outfit are from 71. Well,
She's from 71?
no, this is like a reproduction, but the original
I was about to
Malibu
say,
Christie
damn girl.
was 1971 as well.
So she's Malibu Christie.
The doll
That's
is
what I
Malibu
said.
Christie.
That's what I said.
True
I
or
do be knowing
false,
who Christie
this
is.
is the outfit that was like made for her.
No.
False. T.
Of all the ones the girls are wearing right now, I don't think any of them, because he has other ones in here.
Yes.
I don't think any of those are her look.
No,
right?
she came in like a swimsuit.
My favorite is when Christie's in the Poodle Parade outfit.
Oh my god, it's so cunty. The Poodle Parade outfit.
The Poodle
is
Parade
so
outfit is fierce. About twice a week, though, I bump into that shelf and the trophy falls on the ground.
Leave a comment below if you would like to see me do a Trixie Mattel tour of my doll collection.
He has 3.
I have 4.
And a tiny doll that the Barbie that I found at like a Costco or something. And I thought
That
was
makes
so
it
fun.
5.
Yeah, it's like a mini. It's like in a miniature lipstick. It's so fun. Song of the week. What's your song of the week?
My song of the week is MacArthur Park by Donna Summer.
Great choice. A classic.
So good.
Yeah. Perfect.
Special shout out to the vocal arrangement on the Donna Summer musical cast recording. That version of MacArthur Park is so fierce because it's them singing in 3-part harmony and like screaming at the end. What's your song of the week?
My song of the week will be no surprise to you that it's from Dijon's new album. I'm gonna say Yamaha.
Wake it up.
By Dijon. It's really great. You guys, if you care about the art of the album and you care about where music is headed, you listen to Dijon. That man. Also,
All right.
Is anybody shocked that
he could be my baby daddy if he wanted to be. I'm just saying. Like, pregnancy to me is body horror, but I would carry that man's child to term.
thank you guys so much for
Termination.
listening.
Mom, I'm not having a kid.
It's been real. It's been lovely. See you guys next week.
Way too long. Sorry. Bye. Damn, it's so late.